Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Box Office Receipts for the weekend of December 20th, 2019. And boy, do we have quite a bit to talk about. We got the Rise of Skywalker numbers, the rest of the weekend top 5, international updates, and how does Christmas look to shape up for the box office? Well, opening in first place is the Rise of Skywalker with 175.5 million. In second place is Jumanji: The Next Level with 26.1 million for a total of 101.9 million. In third place is Frozen 2 with 12.3 million for a total of 386.5 million. In fourth place is Cats opening with 6.5 million. Lastly is Knives Out in fifth place with 6.1 million for a total of 89.5 million. So for my predictions, the only one I was wrong was with Bombshell. It did worse than expected, coming in at sixth place with only 5 million. I had that coming in at fifth place, however that was under the idea of it making 6 to 7 million, which it did not do. Cats also bombed as well, expected to do 10 to 12 million, which with almost a $100 million budget would already be terrible, made 6.5 million. Now let's talk about Star Wars. On paper without context, The Rise of Skywalker is a solid opening, one of the best all time for December. However, when you do reference it to the rest of the trilogy, it's terrible. Complete trash. From Force Awakens' 247 million opening, and that was record breaking at the time, to The Last Jedi's 220 million, to now 175 million. That is a big drop. The movie so far has gotten a mixed reception as well, and critics are calling it the worst of the trilogy. So what happened? Well, while some people may not want to hear it, I do think a lot of this is due to The Last Jedi. No matter what you think of the movie, it simply did not set up enough suspense and plot ideas for a final movie. This is why I think Episode 9 switched to not being only an end to the sequel trilogy, but the end of the Skywalker saga. Along with not really having a setup for a final movie, The Last Jedi itself went in the opposite direction of how J.J. Abrams set up Force Awakens, and now the reviews say that he goes back to that same direction, going the opposite of The Last Jedi. This basically means this trilogy is a bit of going back and forth on plot details, and that can be not only confusing to viewers, but also not interesting. The more I read about how this trilogy was made, it's clear they should have had a writer's room write up the plot for the entire trilogy, what the purpose of it was, the character arcs, everything. They can go to different directions and be like, look, we want you to direct this Star Wars movie. You can go about it however you want it, but it has to hit these plot points. That's the deal. And then you get what you get. So yes, it may not have been the creative freedom that directors are used to. However, at least in the issue of where is this plot going in the end and what does it mean, at least that'd be fixed. At the very least, Disney knows they screwed up, and this is the last Star Wars movie for a while. Right now, they are apparently set to announce the details for a movie to be released in 2022 next month, but that is it. Until then, the only Star Wars content we will be getting are TV shows on Disney+. So how did Rise of Skywalker do internationally? Well, they made 197.7 million internationally for a worldwide opening weekend of 373.2 million. Right now, the next weekend is very important because they can still hit 1 billion worldwide, but it does need good legs. If the legs are worse than Last Jedi, it will not hit 1 billion, which would be very surprising. Going over other international numbers, Jumanji: The Next Level is now at 210 million internationally for a worldwide total of 311.9 million. Cats made 4.4 million internationally for a worldwide opening weekend of 10.9 million. Frozen 2 is now at 1.1 billion, backed by 717.2 million internationally. Knives Out is looking to try and hit 200 million worldwide, with it now at 185.5 million. Speaking of 200 million, Ford vs. Ferrari is about to hit it with it now at 192.9 million. So for this weekend, it's a weird setup. We have no movies coming out this weekend, but we do have a few opening up on Christmas. We have a remake of Little Woman from Sony, and a family movie from Blue Sky, aka Fox, aka Disney, with Spies in Disguise, and a wide release of Uncut Gems, the movie that may give Adam Sandler a ticket to the Oscars. Since Cats and Bombshell did poorly, I do not expect them to get much of a boost thanks to Christmas, especially since all three movies I just mentioned have gotten good reviews. But no matter what, Star Wars will still be number one, so the rest of the top 5 will be: in second place, Jumanji: The Next Level, third place, Little Woman, fourth place, Spies in Disguise, and in fifth place, Uncut Gems. I'm going to be a little bit ballsy here and say this is the weekend where Frozen 2 is out of the top 5. Not that it'll do bad, but all the new movies coming out, I could, be a tight 6th place spot. But that is it for this week's episode of Box Office Receipts. What do you think will be in the top 5 this weekend? Let me know on Instagram at Tyler Callahan Media and on Facebook. Link to the pages in the description. Thanks for listening and have a happy holiday.